So it is what it is, right? You're here with Richie, and I hope that you're fresh. I hope that you're doing well. And if you're not, nobody cares. So you should care about yourself and smoke your best cigars. And I'm not saying being selfish. You know, you've earned the life you have. And if it's bad, you know, earn a better one. And if it's good, enjoy it. Don't fuck it up. So, Todos Las Dias, even though it says Todos Las Dias, the D's in the middle, just the way your mother likes it. Yeah, this is like a heavy Robusto, 552 as opposed to a 556, which pink mist. Heavy Robusto, thick, heavy, chocolatey looking brown wrapper, very dense, very dense, very dense. Lean back, very balanced. A nice looking stick. This is a high quality cigar by Dunbarton Tobacco. This is provided to us by brother Jeremy. This was sent in his monster box. So shout out to brother Jay. Jay's on my feet. So get like me. Jay's on my feet. That's actually it's my second favorite Miley Cyrus song. I'm glad you asked. My first favorite Miley Cyrus song is Party in the USA, which I know is offensive because nobody cares how you party in, you know, Great Britain or, you know, whatever. I don't know, Australia, down under, whatever you're doing with shrimps and sharks and your high taxes. Can't even own a fucking BB gun. How'd that work out for you? You guys used to be Crocodile Dundee. Now, that's a knife. Really? Crocodile Dundee would be a felon. If Crocodile Dundee was around now, the cops would just shoot him in Australia. Sir, drop the large knife. He's like, that's a knife. Sir, drop it. That's a Glock. Bam. It's insane. Crocodile Dundee was unresponsive. I love if someone gets blasted and they're like, medical treatment was provided. However, he did not survive. It's hysterical, you know, when they say someone got shot and then but they called him an ambulance. It's like someone sticking a plunger in your ass. And, oh shit, I'm getting a phone. Just like that, I have teleported myself to a different time and place and location. And you're probably wondering, how is this possible? How is a man doing a cigar review and then cuts the cap and then does it in a different time and space? The magic in the lounge is, you know, not for me to figure out. I'm just the manager of the lounge. My name is Richie. I'm also connected to Dimension X. If you're not aware of that, come on down to Alive. It is what it is. So, let's light this cigar. Soft, gentle heat. I can't stress that enough. Here we go again. Well, what happened was, I was waiting, when I was making, I don't know what word is. I was in the car last night. I was about to smoke the cigar, make a review. But what I was doing, besides doing that, I was waiting for someone who was in the emergency room. And, you know, maybe they're there an hour. Maybe they're there 5 hours. Like, there's no telling. So I was waiting for them in the emergency room. That's why I brought a cigar to smoke. And right after I cut the cap and I was making the introduction, which was going to be turned into a review, the phone rang and they said, hey, come get me. And there you go. And that's the story. The longest match. Initial impression, on the darker side. Initial impression. A long finish, but not a very heavy finish. Initial impression, not that strong. Initial impression, medium strength. Initial impression, good smoke output. Initial impression. It's got a good draw. So, that's what's going on. Initial impression is, it looks good. It's drawing well, it's burning well, it lit up well. The smoke output is nice. It is, you know, winter time. It's probably about 35, 40 degrees, not even 40, 35 to 38 degrees right now. So, if the cigar does crack, I can't blame the cigar. That white stuff in the background is a yayo. That would be intense. The dog would never come back in the house. Come on, Fifi, Fifi. Say hello to my little friend. Anyways, that's snow. Do you know that's decaffeinated Colombian coffee you're drinking? Son of a bitch. Initial impression is I like this cigar. I don't love the cigar. What I mean I don't love it, meaning initial impression isn't, it's a godlike cigar. Initial impression, I have to have it or put on my list. No, that's like less than 1% of cigars. So it's not hitting that. And could that change? Maybe, but generally world-class cigars are kind of known off the bat. That being said, is it a good cigar? Yes. Well, could I recommend it? Well, yes. I would use the word thin milk chocolate, and this is what I mean by it. Did you ever have like milk chocolate? Let me flip that around. You ever had chocolate milk, but you ran out of milk, so you had like half a cup of milk? Let's say a big 16-ounce glass. And you put the Hershey syrup in the bottom, and then you pour the milk in, however you do it. And you only have 8 ounces of milk. And you're like, wow, this milk now is gonna be way too concentrated. And I don't, yeah, it's just only 8 ounces. I want a big glass with my cookies. I don't know, whatever Fat Dennis is doing. Point is this, then if you added like 8 ounces of water on top of that, so, once again, back to the yayo. If you're chopping up your chocolate milk, if you're stepping on it with H2O, step on this, step on it. They're gonna realize it's not real chocolate milk. Nobody cares. Nobody's getting pure milk. It's 2023. Chop it up with water. The Nesquik, the Yoo-Hoo, the what's that other one with the B? What's that one with the B? Not Barber Salt, no. No, what was that? Yeah, Nesquik and Yoo-Hoo and Hershey's. Nesquik, Yoo-Hoo, and Hershey's. But then who was the one with the B? Bosco. Bosco. Bosco chocolate syrup. So what am I trying to say? Thin chocolate milk. It feels like a watered down chocolate milk. That's the kind of chocolate I'm getting right now. Capiche? Finish is long, it's lasting, but it's not super heavy. And it's on the darker side, but it ain't super dark. And because it's not pushing anything very hard, it doesn't feel like a strong cigar. It's quite nice though. It's relaxing. Honestly, I'm getting like chestnuts, chocolate milk, like light, like I said, watered down chocolate milk. But anyways, chestnuts roasted, chestnuts, chocolate milk. That's quite nice. Almost no black pepper spice. Almost no spice, period. So to do that, I don't know if it's just lower primings, or I don't know if it's got a lot of age. I don't know. but not spicy. How dark is it? The darkest cigar you ever had. The lightest. 70%. It's on the darker side. I gotta admit, honestly, and they were advertising this on the website as like one of their fuller, stronger cigars, and it's not, but it's not bad. I think it's delicious. It's my opinion, the cigar is not a home run, but I think it's a delicious cigar. The finish is not strong at all. It's quite smooth. The draw is good. I guess if you want like a morning type of relaxing Maduro, then yeah, like if you like the Macanudo Maduro, or the Ashton Hayes Maduro, or the Hemingway Fuente short story or signature Maduro. Yeah, if you're into that stuff, kind of like that. Gentle Maduros. Just the faintest hint of coffee. So not an intense cigar at all. A cigar with some flavor. That's quite nice and gentle and delicious, but it's not a stout cigar, and it's not a strong cigar, and it's not a spicy cigar. It is not a heavy cigar. So, is it for everyone? Well, no. For newbies, sure. If for someone who's an expert that's used to smoking like Padrones, this might bore them. But at the same time, if you wanted to have a chill experience, then yeah, it could work. It depends on your, you know what I'm saying though? Like if you're used to smoking Padrones or real strong sticks, Liga number 9, whatever. And then you might say, hey, that's it. You might say, hey, that's it. You're sitting outside, you're like, hey, that's what you say. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that maybe, you know, you're looking just to chill tonight, and that's fine. A little Netflix and chill, I don't know. Sweatpants and cuddling, you know. Oh, the smoke's quite nice. I just don't know what they were doing with this cigar as far as them advertising it as a very strong cigar. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure on the Todos Las Dias, they advertise it as, you know, a darker, stronger cigar. That I don't like about it, meaning because if you were reading advertisements, like if you went to a movie and on the movie poster it says rated R for strong bloody violence, and then you went into the movie and it was just a guy like, I don't know, having his balls smashed with a rubber mallet. This is not even a good example. But what I'm trying to say is like, that's not a good example. Okay, so you went to a movie and it said it was rated R. And, okay, better yet, let me give you a better example. My uncle back in the day, and my uncle's an older guy, and this was like in the, what, early 2000s, I guess? And he was born in the 50s. Huge John Wayne fan, huge Cowboy fan. And I'm not talking about the football team. I mean, he would always be watching Turner or AMC classics, you know, cowboy movies and cowboy TV shows and all the classics, whatever. You know, that kind of stuff, you know. The old, you know, Clint Eastwood, etc. He loved cowboy stuff. But obviously, you know, in modern times, yeah, you had Unforgiven. Yeah, you had The Quick and the Dead, you had Tombstone, etc. But in the big gambit, at best, if you're looking at one new cowboy movie a year in the movies. Back then, now, ain't no cowboy movies. The point is, you know, as time went on, you know, it's almost a forgotten art. You know, once I think the 80s came around, because in the 70s they were still making some cowboy shit, 60s definitely, but 80s coming around. It was all about the future, man. It was DeLoreans and, you know, cocaine in Miami. I don't know, jet skis. E.T. Movies change. That's fine. Lethal Weapon. That being said, yeah, so the 90s started having some more cowboy movies. What am I talking about here? So anyways, it was what? I guess the early 2000s. And my uncle, you know, aside from my uncle, I did work for him, sometimes full-time, sometimes part-time, whenever he needed me, you know, depending where I was at. If I had a job or if I didn't have a job, then I would just call him up. You need extra help, you know, carrying wood, carrying shingles. He had his own, you know, construction company. So whatever. There was times where I'd just be waiting at a job site, so that way he didn't have to be there. That way I had the keys to the property, and because a city or state inspector was coming in to inspect the project and give us, you know, approval so we could keep on construction, or the final approval. Making sure the project's in compliance. The point is this. My uncle, I saw him, and then he said, "You wouldn't believe what happened to me yesterday." I said, "What?" He said, "Well, you know, I had some time in the day, and so I went to go see a movie." So I walked in the movies, and he doesn't really watch TV, like as far as like the news, like what's the news go. He just watch old cowboy stuff. So anyways, he goes into the, he's not a man of the world. He's not up to date. So he just walks in the movie theater and just sees all the signs to see what's out. He didn't know what's out. And he sees this big poster of these two cowboys. So he's thinking, great, cowboy movie. Cowboy movie. He's like, right. So he walks up to the guy at the ticket counter. He's like, yeah, I'll take one ticket for that movie over there, the cowboy one, Brokeback Mountain. Now, my uncle at that time was probably, you know, in his 50s. He's there by himself. He's a happily married man, 6 children. He had no idea. No idea. Now, this is that same uncle I told you about that was like the all-state wrestler, and in his heyday, in the 80s and 90s, when I was younger, I was scared of him. He was very intense. But as I grew, and was bigger and stronger, and then I always respected him then, but then I wasn't feared anymore. But when I was younger, oh yeah, it was something to be marveled at, his intensity. Anyways, getting creamier, this cigar. Roasted chestnuts. Anyways, so he goes and sits down, watches the movie. Previews happen. He's sitting there eating popcorn. And I don't think I've ever watched that movie. Maybe a scene or two was on TV, and I'm like, oh, it's that. Yeah, it was changed, this shit. So anyways, I guess he watched the movie. And eventually he said he walked out, but I'm not sure how long, but I guess he figured out it wasn't that kind of movie. And he said he went back to the counter to get his money back. He's like, what is this shit? I thought this was a John Wayne cowboy movie. The guy's like, it is a cowboy movie. It's a 451 cowboy movie. You know which word that is? He didn't know. He didn't know. You know, there was no smartphones back then, and he was in his 50s. The point was, though, what was the point? Shit. I am so lost in translation here. Strength picking up a little bit. It's medium plus. But it is not a strong cigar. It is not a scary cigar. But we'll see what happens. What was the point of that story? Shit. What was the point of the story? Was it about advertising things that wasn't what it was? But he didn't, I don't know. I don't even remember now. I don't want to know. I'll come back. Here we are. We're deep into this cigar, which sounds more Weinstein than it has to be. You know, burn's going well. Touch-ups. I touched it up 10 times. I did touch it up 1 time. I'll leave that to maybe the cold weather. Massive amounts of glue on this, so let's see if it wraps it up. This would fall under a good cigar. This is not a great cigar. It's a good cigar, meaning it's smokable. The flavor was nice, but the overall impression is not like, oh my God, like, no. But so it falls under a good cigar. So should you try it? If you want to, or if you have to, if you go somewhere and it's your best option. I don't know the price on these, but I know lots of Steve Sakas are not cheap. So, you know, if you get a better deal on the internet, but even if you get a good deal, there's other cigars I would say choose over this. Bijou, my father. Valencia, my father. Melanio V. Maduro. Oliva. Pledge. Carrillo, but which is still Oliva. So, yeah, I picked up a little more. It's medium plus. And my thing here is so messed up. Son of a bitch. It's my missus got me a new one, and I don't have the heart to throw out this old one. I guess I'm stuck on stupid, I guess. I don't know, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. There you go. There you go. Just go sit in the corner. This one's so jacked up. Ash has got to go. No, he didn't want to go. It's kind of there, but I don't know. I'm just gonna drop it, okay? There we go. So, a good cigar, not a great cigar. It's kind of tasty. The chestnuts and the chocolate was nice, but the chocolate felt like it was a very, the word was watered down, I guess. You know, it wasn't very heavy or intense. So, and my only problem with that would be is the website kind of advertises this as, you know, it appears to making an advertisement to be more full-bodied. Which I always hated that phrase. I always thought that was bullshit. You have the strength of the cigar, how strong it is. So if it was a song, how loud is the volume? The louder the volume, the stronger the cigar. Then you got the profile, the blend. Well, is there 3 people in the band, or is it an orchestra? And then within there, you could say who has the lead, or who's playing the most, or are they all playing at the same time, right? You know, does the band members mix well? Do they not? So you have strength, and you have the blends. The complexity is how many people are in the band and what they're playing and how well it works together. The finish is like the echo, the reverb. The finish is how long it lasts after, but the longer it echoes, but also the heaviness is like the louder, because the strength of cigars when you're puffing it, but if the finish is strong, it's separate from puffing on the cigar. Even though they're connected, but still it's a different aspect. Because you can have a cigar that's strong while you puff on it, and then you release it, and if the finish is so short, even if it has a strong finish, if it dissipates in 1 second, you're like, oh, that was strong. Oh, where'd it go? So there's the aspect, the length of the finish and the strength of the finish, right? The strength of the finish is like how much it's coating your tongue, where you're like, I'm going to be tasting this tomorrow. And then we get the darkness meter, and that's a factor. If you're not sure what that means, take a basic Connecticut cigar and make that around like 50 or 45% of the scale, because like a Candela would probably be way down here. Now there's some Connecticut cigars that are a little darker than others, but generally Connecticut cigars, shade cigars, are going to be the lightest cigars you're generally going to be smoking. And then from there, we move up, right? Well, how do you say the darkness of the cigar? It's not the wrapper. It's all the notes together. So if all the notes are like fig, chocolate, earth, black pepper, you know, those kind of things, charred wood, that pushes the meter, you know. You get what I'm saying, though? More. So, where cigars start getting scary is if you have a lot of dark notes, and you start getting, but also, and you have a lot, the darker the notes combination with the higher the strength, how loud, and the heavier the finish. So if you have a heavy, long, strong finish, a loud, strong cigar, and a lot of dark notes, it can really be a lot. And it might scare some people. It's too like a horror movie, like too scary of a cigar. It's too intense. No balance per se. This wasn't an overdone cigar at all. If anything, it felt a little underdone. Not much strength, medium plus, but for what it was advertised. And it does look like a dark cigar, and so you, in your mind, and with the advertising, you might be thinking, oh, it's going to be, it's pretty strong. And no, it's definitely not like Ricciarda. It's not like either Ricciarda. It's not like the 50th Ricciarda, right? Is that what it was? And it's not like the Umbagog. Those are all stronger and spicier. So yeah, if you want to try it, check it out. But I guess if you want like a medium strength, creamy chestnut and chocolate light, then yeah, you'll like it. So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying though? So that is the best description I could give for this cigar. Appreciate you coming down. Make sure you subscribe to your life. Make sure you smash your own like button. Now, please, don't be smashing your like button 500 yards from public places. You know what I mean? He told me to smash it. I was smashing my like button, officer. It's not what I said. It's not what I meant. I'm not going to come bail you out. You're on your own. Get used to it. I'll see you soon. Stay fresh. Eat prunes. Hydrate. Tensive for camping. Soft, gentle heat. And there's no cigars in prison. I can't stress that enough. And I use that term loosely. And you could take that to the bank.